Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're talking about quarter century Stampede. We had some very recent kind of early reveals come out of some of people opening the set early, and we found out a good number of extra cards in the set. It's just good information to have because the earlier you know about it, the earlier you can make some financial decisions on stuff. But anyway, I'm not usually known for doing market watch stuff. I keep my eyes on it so that way I can get the best deals I can, just like any duelist. But it's not my bread and butter. But there's some really cool stuff in this set that I want to go over. I broke up a lot of the reprints from the main pool of cards in this set into a couple different tiers of like how good the reprints are. There's like tier 3, which is like fine. You may save a dollar or two on most of those cards. They're just nice quality. Quality of life reprints. There's tier 2 where you might save like $5 on a card just because of the new printing, or just maybe the only access to some of those cards is commons only, at like fairly cheap. But like, if you want anything holographic, you're gonna have to, the price quadruples or more than sometimes. And then there's like the tier 1 stuff, like the best reprints, the chase cards of the set that are could potentially come down 15 to $20 a card on some of those, maybe even more. And those are clearly the chase cards of the set. So I broke it up into that. Keep in mind, this set's a little bit different than a lot of other sets. It's an all reprint set, and even though it's like a 300 card set, 200 of those cards just fall into the nostalgia pool. That means they're only being printed in the platinum secret rare and quarter century secret rare slots. So it makes them much harder to pull just because there's one, so many of them, and two, they're kind of designated for specific slots in the packs, which just means they're in here, but those are not the kind of reprints that are going to bring down the price of those cards all that much. Those are going to be in a lot of cases like rarity bumps rather than, discount, opportunity for those cards. So the main pool is only about 80 cards, and that gives us a much easier access at kind of going through, because they're going to get printed in every rarity in the set unless they already have a quarter century secret rare, I believe. So we're going to go through those. We're going to go through the tiers. Keep in mind, this set comes out in like 11 days in the TCG. So the earlier you know about some of these reprints, the earlier you can act on them and, make some keen financial moves if you wish. So let's get into it. Let's start off with tier 3 for me. These are, oh, whoa. We got to shrink that. We got to shrink that real nice. There we go. Let's start off with tier 3. These are the cards that like aren't that expensive, but all things considered, this is going to help you, save a couple bucks here or there. El Shaddai Winda's getting a reprint here. It has less printings than I thought it would have. It only has like 4, and that's including an alt art. So that's a cool one. That's nice. You'll probably be able to save some money or get a higher rarity on it if you wish. It's cool. Amphibious Swarm Ship Amblo Whale gets a reprint. This is nice, just working with those fire decks that play Promethean Princess. But yeah, there's 2 printings on this card only. So getting this card to go down just a little bit, even though it's not crazy, still nice. Lullaby of Obedience. Even though this card technically has some cheaper printings, they're quite old and can be kind of hard to find. So just getting some new versions of this card. We saw this card swing back for like one big YCS. It went crazy and has kind of flattened out since then, but you never know when it's going to come back in a situation like that. Incredible Ecclesia. This one actually gets an alt art, I believe, in this set. And look at how expensive this is like the cheapest copy on this card. That's crazy. I did not realize this one had gone up so far. Oh, I guess it's not so bad. Okay. It's closer more so to 350. This is just a weird one. It's being promoted to me. Zodiac Barrage sits around that $1 to $2 range. Nothing crazy, but like, can we still get a ultra rare, secret rare even still at at a cheaper price with the new printing? Possibly. Metaltronus, Legacy of Destruction, is the only printing for this card. This card has kind of gone up and down, but it sits at a pretty good spot, and this is a pretty good like meta staple card that I would probably recommend most players at least have in the binder ready to go, just because this card can come up in any format, it feels like, now going forward. Aether and Erebus, these kind of both go together. They have very similar price points. But like the weird thing with these cards is this is their only printing is an old structure deck. So good luck finding like clean copies on this card. There are some here. It's more than I thought, but like for one printing, it is weird. So it's just nice that it's the only printing. So you may be able to get some higher rarity stuff off of these, but I still think they fit tier 3. Gotta throw Ash Blossom in here. If Ash Blossom's ever getting reprinted, it's at worst a tier 3 reprint. Uh, Listen, if you wanted a hollow Ash, the cheapest you can get is like $4.50, right? There's some commons you can get, but if you wanted anything hollow and you're a super budget player, this could give you an option at finding like a hollow Ash at a much more affordable price. And then the last one for tier 3 is Live Twin Kiss a Kill. She is shot up because of her new Link 1 that's going to be coming out pretty soon here in the TCG. So that it'll be nice to have her get a quick little reprint. Maybe you'll save a couple bucks on that or get a higher rarity, you know? So that's cool. All right, into tier 2. Mermail Abyss Pike leads us off here. It's been like a known thing that this guy hasn't gotten a reprint in so long. Look at him. He is just like not like has no business being that expensive. That's crazy. Next up, you have Black Metal Dragon. This one's a weird one because, like, if you go and look at some of the commons, they're not that expensive. The problem is there's like 5 common printings of this card, 1 super printing of this card, and the super printing is like $20 there. So it'll be nice to get some like an influx of hollow printings on this card because this card's been good in Dragon Link. It's low key, totally solid in Blue Eyes even right now. Just solid to see for sure. Next up, you have Astral Karibo. This guy's really good as well. He's only ever had 1 printing in Battles of Legend from a couple years ago. So this one's just pretty obvious, pretty staple standard. Not that he's all that good or anything, but if you like collecting the Karibos or whatever, it's going to give you an option of getting him a little cheaper. Goatee of the Deep Beyond. This goes nice, especially with the early leaks we got yesterday of some of those new pretty powerful Goatee cards. But this card's only really been printed in Power of the Elements. So seeing a nice little reprint for this guy hopefully makes him a little bit more doable if you want to rebuild Goatee for the new support. Number 11, Big Eye. Keep in mind, this is the nasty gold rare version of this card. It's the cheapest version of this card, and it's still like $6. That's insane. Epurely Noir from Duels Nexus. Again, just one of those cards. Nothing crazy, but it only has 1 printing. It's about $5. You might be able to save $3-4 with a new printing on this card at the same exact rarity. Solid. Sheehan's Dojo. This card's got a couple printings, like 2 or 3. Even this one though, that's the common, I believe, like $4.50 for the common. So it'll be really nice to see an influx on this. This card definitely needed a reprint. Cyber Dragon Infinity. I don't even have artwork on this one, but this is one of the I guess more recent reprints, sort of. Yeah, the 2020. $4. This is the cheapest copy. I did not realize Infinity has just sat this expensive. I've just had a bunch of copies, and so when I've been playing Crystron, I just kind of already had it. I didn't even have to take a look, but like I did not realize that. So there's actually a nice little reprint here. Mitiono's Drytron. Yeah, no issue. $6. This should go down. Very nice for Drytron players. There's another reprint too for Drytron later on that'll be really nice. Hopefully get Drytron into like pure budget levels. Drew McCarmer Cannon. This is a cool staple. There's another card I would probably recommend most players just have for when it's really good, because this card definitely could stand the test of time. $6 on the cheapest printing. Gotta love that. Salaman Great Raging Phoenix. Only 1 printing from those Duelist packs, right? Yeah, Legendary Duelist, the Fire Legendary Duelist. Sitting around $10-11 actually. This one maybe could have made it into tier 1, but yeah, this will be nice to get. Just, again, another card that pairs with Promethean Princess really well. Big Welcome Labyrinth. No surprise here. Maybe even get Labyrinth down to very affordable as well. Sitting around $8. Get that a little cheaper. That'd be really nice. Transaction Rollback, same thing. Getting Labyrinth a little cheaper. Sitting around $6 on the cheapest copy. Get that lower. Vanquish Soul Pantera, new support leaked for them early yesterday. So there's Pantera here, and there's another really good reprint you'll see later as well. So she, just sitting at like that $5 range, but like she might be a 3 of with the new support. Who knows? And if you can get it for $1 or $2 instead of 4.5, like that's $10 when you're putting together a cart for like a whole core. That adds up for sure. Alistair, I did not realize one that Alistair still to this day only has like 3 printings, and like the cheapest one, the nasty gold rare, is like still $7.50. That's crazy to me. So yeah, Alistair will be a really nice welcome addition to that. And the last one here for tier 2 is Gaga Cowboy. Another one. He has a bunch of printings. I'm shocked that like he still sits this high. And I guess, well, this is higher than I thought. I don't know why I put him here instead of, I guess, oh, because when you actually look at the pricings, you literally cannot find him for like less than $5 or less than $4.50. Well, with shipping over 5. So yeah, definitely Cowboy deserves to be on that list. Which brings us to our tier 1s, and there's actually a lot of them. So that's really cool. There's a lot of value to be found in this set. Starting off, Mermail Abyssland. I know she doesn't see that much play in modern or like current Mermail builds, but depending on ban list, depending on other stuff, there's a world where she actually could see play. She's actually not the worst card, um, you know, for the deck. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong one. This one's terrible. I just read it. But whatever. If you collect the old Mermail cards, she's still cool for that. Mystic Piper, another kind of legacy one, but again, one printing. So he just sits at like $13, $14 for absolutely no reason. This card is not very good. So yeah. Evil Hero Dusted Gold. I cannot believe this card is still over $20. He has like 4 printings. That's insanity. But yeah, hero players rejoice, especially with more masked hero support announced. Maybe this guy works in with them, and how this guy also factors in with some of the what are they called, Chimera builds, where they use this to get into the Fiendsmith engine. That's pretty cool. Chamber Dragon Maid, needed it. $20, unless you want the like $12 gold rare. So yeah, Chamber Dragon Maid definitely needed it, and pairing with the new Dragon Maid support, that'll be a perfectly timed reprint. I love that. Evil Twins, Kissy Kill, and Lilla. This card's so ass, but like it's crazy that it's just $9 because it's like a must play card in like a pure version. Not even, I don't even know if it's a must play card, but it's like optional for like raising the ceiling of the deck, I guess. But still cool. Memento Anguish, must have staple if you want to play Memento. So it's nice that Memento will be much more affordable. There's another good reprint on here later too, to take basically the 2 cards that make this deck borderline not budget at all, and hopefully make it like very budget, which is very cool because it's a solid deck. It has been able to compete for a while. Vanquish Soul Dr. Madlove, looking down here, I mean, this card's what, 13, 15 bucks. It got significantly better with the new support because it is now a starter card in the deck, and it's just really nice to see a straight reprint on her. That'll be really nice, and hopefully her plus Pantera getting reprints will put the deck in fairly budget-ish enough range with the new support. And then maybe we'll see the other cards that need to be printed later on as well. Dark Magicians, $18 for this card. You know, cool. And we got new Dark Magician support kind of announced earlier, right next to those masked hero supports. So that'll be nice. Hopefully, maybe this card will actually be decent for them when that comes through. Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon, cool boss monster for the deck. This is printed in Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm. Haven't really heard much about it, but this card's $20, which is crazy. So that's a good reprint. Crimson Dragon, kind of same thing, $21. Even though this card has like 3 or 4 printings, it's kind of surprised it's still up there. Mermail Abyss Gaios, this one's wild. The cheaper printing, the ultra rare on this card, $55. The ulti's not even that much more expensive, but man, this card has some ass behind it. So a reprint on this is really nice for Mermail. No matter what hits they do, I still expect the deck to be able to make rank 7. So yeah, this card is pretty important to the deck. So that's cool to see. Definitely a reprint there is needed because this deck needs to be a little more affordable. There's definitely like a paywall with cards like that in that deck. Anyway, next up, Drytron Nova. This one paired with the Metianis Drytron, really pair together to help make Drytron like full like force budget, which is really nice. If you've been a fan, but you've been holding off because you got to spend $50 just on these 2 cards alone. So that'll be a really nice welcome reprint. Memento Bone Party. This card and Anguish getting reprints is another great pairing to just, take a deck that you had to spend, what is that, $70 on maybe? for two auto 3-ofs in the deck, and knock those down significantly. That's really nice as well. It's really good to see. Oh my gosh, wait, even more than that. This guy's been sitting at 18. Good lord. That's crazy. Over $100 for both of those cards, right? Yeah, that'll be really, really nice. Next up, we are in the final four. Well, I guess the final five. These are the top five probably chase cards in the set, as well as just the most generic across the board. Almost all the cards we just talked about prior to these are more archetypal, right? Like, oh, if you play Mermail, you care about Gaios, or if you want to play Memento, you care about Anguish and Bone Party. But the last five of these are like, if you're just a semi-competitive player, these reprints make you raise an eyebrow and go, if I've been holding off on buying this, I might do it now, or sell my stock and invest in the lower cards to kind of recoup some money, but we'll see. All right, Fiendsmith Engraver. This card sits at $22 right now. That's actually quite cheap. Yeah, mid-20s. But that's kind of with the plummeting of one, maybe expecting to be hit on the ban list, as well as potentially expecting a reprint here, which it is confirmed for. But still, a lot of people, if they have not bought the Fiendsmith engine and they have wanted to, they haven't done it because of this card. So this reprint is really nice. Typhon's awesome reprint. This card's been like over $20. Look at this. Oh yeah, this is bullshit. These market price numbers suck. But like, look at this. Cheapest near mint copies, $28 for this card. And this is just a card that every single semi-competitive player should have in their binder. So hopefully this can get down to a much easier price for just somebody building their competitive core if they want to do it on the cheap. Seventh Ascension, had to have it. $32 market price on here. It's gone down significantly, but it still only got down to like 15. This card was like over 30 very, very recently. So with this confirmation, everybody's probably been ditching their copies as fast as possible because it's going to be way more affordable. This is really nice. Pairing this with 7th Tachyon, at least this card hopefully being quite cheap post the reprint, it makes Tachyon feel a lot better. I was just really annoyed that this card didn't get reprinted in other recent products like Maze of the Master, but because this set was right behind it, they kind of saved it a little bit. I was definitely a little bit let down that Maze of the Master, was it Maze of the Master? Is that the name of the set? Whatever, it's not important. But yeah, so this definitely makes Tachyon. So like, yes, you still have to shell it for Tachyon, but at least for your extra copies, Ascension hopefully shouldn't be too crazy. And the best of the tier ones is Marchami Full Loss. We've known about this one for a long time. This card still sits right around $50. Hopefully this reprint gets it significantly lower. I don't know how much lower to expect at this point, but I'll definitely be getting copies of my own now with this reprint, which is very exciting because I have held out on doing this, and my deck's hand trap lineups have definitely felt it. And there's one more reprint here that we have to make note of. Dragon Master Magia officially confirmed. What's the cheapest? $1,050. How cheap do we think this goes? Because this is even in the main pool too. This ain't no nostalgia pool card where it's only getting 2 like high rarity printings that are going to be, fewer and far between in terms of your ability to pull it. This is just straight up in there in the main pool, which means this should be getting a super, an ultra, a secret, and like 3 other higher printings from there. So I'm very curious to see how low this actually gets. I'm also very curious to see, with Blue Eyes specifically as a pretty competitive deck right now, do people start actually playing Magia? Have we been not playing Magia because you're being priced out of it? Or if it does come around at this price, do people actually go like, oh, okay, we can play this and we can make it fairly reasonably, so let's do that? I have no idea. They might not. They might. I'm curious to see if they do. And that basically sums us up for today, guys. That's all of the big reprints we've had revealed so far. Keep in mind that I believe we still have, let's see, we got 68 out of 100 cards from the main pool. So we still have a handful, a third, a little less than a third of the, or right around a third actually, of the main pool left to be revealed. The nostalgia pool doesn't matter as much just because they're going to be harder to pull, but some people will be looking for them as maybe more chase cards in the set. But as far as the main stuff and like reprints that bring value down, that's really what I care about. That's why I wanted to make a video kind of based around that. It's cool. I might bring another video when we get the rest of them revealed, and if there's anything really cool in there that, like, may make it into like one of the tiers. But looks like there's a lot of value to be had here. So we'll have to see if, like, ratios and everything are on point. But assuming they are, like, this should be a pretty nice product for a lot of players, competitive specifically, to try and get a lot of stuff at a better price. So hopefully that's where you land, because that's where I land. I've definitely got my list from cards on this in this set that I'm going to be looking to pick up, and I hope you do too. So let me know what you're most excited for down below. Be very curious to hear what you guys are looking for the most, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.